gross infractions on the federal character provisions of the Nigerian constitution, with more than 70% of President Tinubu's appointees coming from just one region, the Southwest.
Is President Tinubu violating the rules? Hello my people, another day, another political controversy, and this time around it is coming from inside the house. Senator Ali Ndume has accused President Tinubu of violating the federal character principles by favoring a particular region in his political appointments. Let's watch this video and see what exactly he said and why it matters.
And it's because to avoid such infractions that the Constitution Section 14.3 clearly states that appointments, especially political appointments, should reflect the federal character. And that is not the case here. And all I'm saying is to call the attention of Mr. President to such infractions so that it can be corrected. Otherwise, these things can boomerang at a certain period of time. It's not. And I know, as you rightly said, people look at me as somebody that is critical of the government. I have the right to do that in the first place. And in fact, that's why I'm in the National Assembly in the first place. Collectively, we are supposed to oversight the acts of Mr. President and point out some of these irregularities. Absolutely. That is what we swore to do. It's not personal. I think I have better personal relationship with most of these people that are talking about Tinubu. And I can say in the North, if you count, not up to 5 people that have close relationship with Mr. President, Ndume is one of them. But that does not stop me from speaking the truth, and I have obligation to do that, especially when all of us know that at the end of it all, each one of us will stand before God, and God will ask him to account for what he is responsible for. You understand? And that's why I'm saying this. And besides, we are all in this government. What will we tell our people? When you have these figures out, it's already viral, it's already in circulation. But you know what? From now, after this interview, those attack dogs or MAGA dogs will start attacking Ndume, not the message. And that's why we always get it right. It is not about Ndume or me being a senator. As a Nigerian, I have the right to voice out all these things. Not only that, I have the right to even protest. I have the right. That is guaranteed by the Constitution. But from tomorrow, those so-called Tinubu boys or people will start attacking Ndume. Oh, he's a frustrated person.
But I mean, the facts are there, though, aren't they?
Yeah, the facts are there. These are the facts. I brought it here so that you can see it. I send it to you. These are facts. And I'm not the one that created it. These are facts extracted from what is going on there.
But is it the generality of his appointments, or is it the more sort of juicier jobs?
No. It's not about juicier jobs. It's about spread. It's about equity. It's about justice. You understand? And look, the coming of Mr. President is based on justice, equity, and fairness. And it is expected that he will continue in that direction to ensure fairness.
You mean because he came from the South?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one. But he swore as a president to be fair, equitable, and justful. That is what the president swore to be. But that is not what is being reflected in the events, whether he knows it or he doesn't know. That's why I called on his attention to look at these things so that he can do something about it. That is the issue. And now I'm also begging or calling those attack dogs out there to please address the issues.
Rather than Senator Ndume.
Rather than Senator Ndume, address the message. Because I know now those attack dogs who cannot, I repeat, defend the president when the chips are down. Why I'm saying chips are down, most of them, go and check them. I did my research too. I will come up with the figures. Almost 60 or 70% of them are half Nigerians. You know why? I accuse you of one time of being half.
Don't even go there. Do not go there.
Okay, please. I will not go there because of you. But it's true, most of the appointees, you check around, I'll come up with the figures. Most of them are people that have double citizenship.
I mean dual citizens.
Dual citizenship.
Right. Well, it's not illegal to be a dual citizen.
I'm not saying it's illegal,
right.
but all I'm saying is those type of people cannot give the country 100% because they are not 100% Nigerians.
Well,
anyway.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
On that score. I mean, any other thing.
Because you are one of them anyway.
I told you not to go there. Now you've gone there.
Okay.
But the point is that, no. I mean, I think the real issue here is whether there is an infraction on the federal character constitutional provisions of this country. And you have provided evidence that seems to support that fact. But let me ask you something else, because you are a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You're a lawmaker. And part of what is involved in being a lawmaker is making just and equitable laws. It's not just a law, because I mean, if you look at it from a different perspective, people have a right to oppose a law that is not just, if it is shown not to be just. I mean, should it really matter where someone comes from as long as they are capable and competent in the job that they are chosen to do?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, I stood in support of that. I support the president getting, even if it is an expatriate, to occupy a certain position as long as it doesn't infract
on the Constitution.
On the Constitution.
Right.
But what he's doing now infracts on the Constitution. And worst of it, so far, not all, but so far, majority of those that are given those responsibilities are not discharging their
so you question their competence as well.
I did before.
You're right.
So and I still stand on it.
Right.
Because we haven't gotten to where, or there's no kind of ray of hope in the country under the leadership of those.
So let me be clear.
Now let me give you.
Yeah, okay.
For how many years? All we hear is endure, it will be good.
Did you see that? So Senator Ali Ndume was calling President Tinubu out for allegedly violating the federal character principles, which states that political appointment should be based on Nigeria ethnicity, religion, and regional diversity. But Senator Ali Ndume has accused the president of favoring a particular ethnic group in his political appointment.
Look, whenever you're doing something, if it is true, somebody will come out to say thank you.
But are these loans, are they approved by the National Assembly? I mean, do they pass through your Senate for approval?
No, what passes through the Senate so far as this is these are itemized.
Right, the bulk of it passes
No, the bulk,
through.
you don't pass the bulk, you pass the itemized. If, for example,
right.
before...
So were all these itemized things approved?
Not to my
so you're saying they're extra?
Not to my knowledge, not to my knowledge.
Because I know that... Because
such amount, the medium-term expenditure framework.
Right.
It's something that they bring and we look at and maybe approve it, but that is not to say it's a blanket.
So you're saying these things are... have bypassed the National Assembly.
That is it, so far.
The reason I say that is that I know that in November 2024, the Senate approved 1.7 trillion naira or something to that effect that the government had requested, which is several...
No, it's not. Charles, get it clear. Before you pass the budget annually, there's the midterm expenditure framework that must come before the National Assembly for approval. These are the things that the government is anticipating to spend, but that is not to say that even if it is approved, it is a blanket approval. No.
Right.
Every item, every of this...
must be accounted.
Yes.
Right.
No, because you need to ask questions. How are you going to do that? How is it important? And when is the money? What are the terms? How is all these things? And
so the question is President Tinubu truly violating the federal character principle? Is Senator Ali speaking the truth, or is he just playing politics? Tell us what you think in the comment section below.